Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Matsuyurific, and today I want to talk to you guys about something very important and very serious. Now, as per the rules on my channel, I am going to be giving an age warning, mainly because the topic of this video can be a little adult. I will be using adult language because that's just how very strongly I feel about this, and I'm going to be placing an age restriction on this video. I'm going to go with 15. I feel like people who are 15 or older will be old enough to be able to handle the stuff in this video and to understand what's going on in this video. So if you are under the age of 15, I recommend getting an adult's permission before watching this video. Now, if your parents approve it, then fine. To the parents that are watching this right now, if you feel like this is a topic that your kids need to understand, then by all means let them watch my video. But as somebody who cares a lot for children, whether I know them or not, I just want to give this warning now, before your kids wind up seeing or hearing something that you might not want them to see or hear. Now, with that out of the way, let's get on to today's topic. Now, this is a topic that some of you might not want to hear about, but it's still an important topic and it needs to be discussed. As many of you are aware, we just elected a new president, President Trump. Now, I'm going to come right out and say it. I did not vote for Trump. I do not support Trump. I have never supported him. But at the same time, I have to accept the fact that he is the president of the country that I live in. And I hope to God he does not screw it up. If he screws it up, I'll be saying I told you so. But for the sake of the place that I live in, I hope he doesn't. For the sake of the people who share this country with me, I hope that he doesn't. I've got a strong feeling he will, but I really, really hope that he doesn't. And I'm going to at least give him a chance. That being said, you guys are probably aware that there's a lot of people out there who aren't willing to give him a chance, who aren't willing to wait and see what happens. Now, I'm not here to say, oh, well, Trump is the president now, what's the worst that could happen? I can tell you what the worst can happen. And I understand exactly why everybody is scared. I'm a little scared too. But at the same time, this is not how to handle it. At the same time, we're not the only ones handling this situation very, very poorly. I'm going to be discussing two different groups here. I will be calling them the pro-Trumps and the anti-Trumps. Both parties have been very much in the wrong for the past week. And I'm starting to get sick of it. It's not that I'm sick of hearing about it. It's like, oh, I don't want to hear about it. No, I'm sick of seeing you guys acting like 5-year-olds. Like the kids I just told probably shouldn't be watching this video. I mean, I hope you guys are mature enough to watch this video. You're certainly not mature enough to do a peaceful protest. You're certainly not mature enough to just accept the fact that your guy won and leave it at that. No. We gotta set fires to people's cars. We gotta riot. We gotta beat people up because of who they voted for. People, this is not how to... I am so... You know what? I already gave the age warning, and I even said that I'll probably curse in this. So you know what? I'm so pissed off! I really am! We've got anti-Trumps out there rioting, not just peaceful protesting with signs saying we don't want Trump, I'm talking about setting fires, breaking stuff. I'll admit I got a slight giggle out of it when someone broke Trump's star on Hollywood, but vandalism is not the answer. Violence is not the answer. You guys are scared that you're going to be attacked by these pro-Trumps, but you're attacking them. You're just confirming all of the negative things that they think about you. I saw a video on the news the other day, actually yesterday, where two black guys approached a white guy. Apparently they stopped his car on the street, and when the guy came out, the two black guys are like, "Hey, you voted for Trump, didn't you?" And then they beat the guy up. They didn't even give the guy a chance to answer. You know, guys, 59% of the country didn't even vote. Do you guys really think that 59% on top of the other, like, 20-something percent that voted for Hillary, do you really think that all of those people are going to be not white? No. Just because someone is white doesn't mean they voted for Trump. Just because somebody is not white doesn't mean that they voted for Hillary. There were black people and Hispanics who voted for Trump. There were women who voted for Trump. My own mother voted for Trump, and I do apologize for that. But this is not the answer. You know, we've got these prejudices out there that say that black people are violent and that LGBTs are rapists and that women are asking to get raped. If we go out there and confirm these prejudices, that's not going to end them. Now, granted, I've not been hearing about any LGBTs going out there raping anybody or any women actually going out there selling themselves in the past couple days or anything. I'm just using that as an example. This is not how we end prejudice, guys. Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. would want us going out there and beating up all the white people? He believed in equality. He believed in everybody getting along, regardless of the color of their skin. And then we get to the pro-Trumps. Oh, they piss me off so much. Now, I'm not saying that every single person who voted for Trump is a bad person. Like I said, my mother voted for Trump, and I don't think she's a bad person. I've never thought my mother is a bad person. But at the same time, when I say pro-Trumps, and anti-Trumps, I'm talking about the radicals of each side. These pro-Trumps are going out, setting fires to people's cars. There's a trans man whose car was spray painted Trump and then set on fire. A black woman whose car was vandalized. They wrote on her car, effing, F you, N-word, Trump, go back, and stuff that I really don't want to repeat. And this is, of course, the one time where I will self-censor because I will not say that word. I know that might seem a bit surprising to those of you who have dealt with racism so much that you very rarely meet a white person who's not racist. But I will not say that word. Regardless, there was a woman who was just in the parking lot at Walmart minding her own business when this asshat runs up and yanks off her hijab and tells her to go back where she came from. What the hell was she doing to you, dude? What the hell? And for those of you who are not Muslim or Islamic or whatever, for those of you who are Christian, let me give you guys a scenario. Imagine you're walking through the parking lot at Walmart. and someone yanks off your necklace just because it's got a cross on it. It's the exact same thing. You weren't hurting anybody by wearing a cross, just as that lady wasn't hurting anybody by wearing a hijab. You know, for all you know, she could be a really nice person. Maybe she even volunteers. But no, all Muslims are evil because a couple of them attacked us a few years back. Because a small group decided to be a bunch of assholes. This is getting out of hand, you guys. It really is. Both sides are completely out of control. Both sides need to just take a chill pill, sit the fuck down, and think, how would I feel if somebody did this to me? Because if you wouldn't want someone else doing it to you, then you should not be doing it to anyone else. How hard is that to process? On top of that, I found something very disheartening today, this morning, as I was scrolling through Tumblr. And I'm going to show you guys what I found. Actually, I'm just going to post a link in the description so you guys can read it. But basically, there is this group going around recruiting. The group calls themselves Trump's Lionguard. Apparently, this guy walked up to a person. I don't know that person's gender. They didn't identify themselves. They just identified the guy. And he told them about this group. That supposedly, this group is something that Trump started. And that when he becomes president, it's going to be government sanctioned. And they're basically some vigilante group that's going to be keeping an eye out for anybody who's protesting, regardless of if it's peaceful or not. And there was something else about them wanting to eliminate media personnel who were anti-Trump because the media became pretty hard on him near the end of the election. I just see that as them calling him out on his bullshit. But at the same time, that's not only scary, but it's also illegal. However, I will say this. There is no legal way that group is going to be sanctioned by the government. I cannot see how this group is going to actually be sanctioned by the government. In fact, honestly, and I'm not saying this because I fully support Trump, I'm saying this because I have reasonable doubt, I don't think Trump even knows about this. I think that this is just some asshole who's using Trump's name to recruit people to spread their own prejudicial agenda. And yes, I said prejudicial, not presidential. I think this might be some third-party person who has no connection to Trump whatsoever, who's going out and trying to recruit more people to attack people they don't like. I really do think that's it. I'm not saying that is the case, but I'm also not saying that it's not the case. I'm just sending that out as a possibility. And honestly, I hope that's the case, because I don't want this group sanctioned by the government. This group is basically the same as the vigilante group that Hitler put together, which is just another reason why people are comparing him to Hitler. But at the same time, it's like, well, I've heard something from a lot of people that Trump's prejudices are just an act that he put on for the rest of the country. I don't believe it. but I maybe? I personally don't believe it, but I think that might just be what the closeted prejudicial people are thinking. The people that are prejudiced, but they don't feel like they are, or they don't want to come out as prejudiced because they know that the country, that the world looks down on prejudice. Of course, that depends on where you're at. Some states are still very prejudiced. Again, I really hope I'm right that Trump doesn't even know about it. If that's the case, I hope he finds out about it and puts a squash to it. I am dying to hear that news report of him coming out and addressing it and saying, I did not start this. I'm dying to hear that. Because a group like that would have to be pretty public. I am so sick of all this hatred that keeps popping up in this country. Let me tell you guys a little bit about how this country was founded. When our forefathers came here and fought for our freedom, they wanted a place where everybody could be free to worship how they choose to worship. It shouldn't matter if you worship God or some other deity. It shouldn't matter how you worship, so long as your worshiping practices don't interfere with that of others. Like, for example, going out and dragging someone to church on Christmas. Now, at the same time, I think people have gotten a little overly sensitive about that. And that's led to even more oversensitivity. For example, you can't go out and say Merry Christmas anymore, because you might offend somebody. Heaven forbid they actually look past the words and see the good meaning behind it. If you celebrate Ramadan and I wish you Merry Christmas, feel free to tell me Happy Ramadan. I won't take offense to it. One of the other rights that were given to us by our forefathers is the freedom to pursue happiness, so long as it does not interfere with the rights of others to pursue their own happiness. Do you know what that means? It means love whoever the fuck you want! Now, I'm not homosexual, I am hetero. But at the same time, I don't care who is! I don't care if your life partner is the same gender as you. I don't care if you identify as a gender that's not what you were assigned at birth. I don't care because it doesn't bother me. It does not affect me. If some person was born a female and identifies as male, that's them. That only affects them. And possibly their future life partner. But their future life partner's obviously going to be okay with it, because if they're not, then forget them, they're not the right person. When I say I don't care, it's not that I don't care. It doesn't bother me, because it doesn't affect me personally. If some woman standing right next to me is gay, is a lesbian, and she comes on to me, I'll just let her know that I'm hetero. She'll be fine with it. But people are like, oh no, homosexuals are rapists. No, they're not. No, they're not. Just because you love someone of the same gender does not make you a rapist. Yes, we do have homosexual rapists out there, but they're a dime a dozen. Just like how being straight doesn't automatically make you a rapist. I'm straight, but I'm not going to go out there and rape my next door neighbor just because he's a guy. And I know that he's not going to come over here and rape me just because I'm a girl. I'm so sick and tired of having to explain this to people. Just a year or two ago, I had to explain to my cousin's former teacher that being transgender does not mean that you're going to go into a bathroom and start raping kids. I've looked this up. There have been I'm telling you, 0 reports of transgenders raping people. But you know what there have been several reports of? Transgenders getting raped. Do you know what the vast majority of rapists are? Cis heteros. If you're a rapist, you're more likely to be cis and heterosexual than you are to be trans or homosexual. But people are so prejudiced that they don't care. They just want to hate you and find some reason to hate you. It's just, ugh. If you're a Christian and you do not support homosexuality or transgender, then you know what? That's fine. But don't go out and crucify someone who is. The 10 Commandments tell us to love thy neighbor and to judge not, for God is the only one who has the right to judge us. Yes, I know it's against Christian religion, but at the same time, these people aren't Christian. They live in America where they have the freedom of religion, which also means they have the freedom not to be religious. They are not hurting anybody. Them being LGBT does not take away your rights, does not take away your ability to believe in God. It does not hurt you at all. Love thy neighbor. Do not hate them. Do not condemn them. This is why Christians have been getting a bad name, because there are Christians out there, not all, but some Christians will go out there and judge every single person that they see. Oh, that person's fat. They're a glutton. Oh, that person's having sex even though they're not married. Oh, look at how that person's dressed. Oh, look, they're gay. Yeah, and you're sinning too. Humans sin. We have sinned ever since Eve ate the forbidden fruit. You judging other people for their sins is hypocritical because you sin too. We all sin. I've sinned. But that doesn't mean that we go out and judge everybody for it. And that's happening way more lately than it has in the past, because everybody's so worked up about this election. All the prejudiced people out there are feeling validated right now, because as far as they know, their president is even more prejudicial than they are. And that somehow makes it okay. Just because one famous person spreads so much hatred apparently makes it okay for us to do so too? No. No, it's not okay. It has never been okay, and it never will be okay. And I am so sick and tired of people thinking that this is okay. This will never be okay. And to those of you who are the victims in all this, please be adults about it as well. It's up to us to prove them wrong, to prove to them that we are not everything they think we are, that we're better than their prejudices. Because we are. We really are. I have faith in us. I have faith in this country. Not quite so much faith in our president, but I'm going to at least give him a chance, because I know that the checks and balances will at least stop him from doing anything too bad. And we've already had members of Congress come out and say that they will not let Trump do anything that takes away people's rights. Just like how Hillary was not going to be taking away gun rights, even though she said that she would, because it's unconstitutional. Congress would have stopped her. Wouldn't have even had to worry about it, because there was no way she was going to do it. The sad thing is, though, Trump's not the one I'm worried about. It's supporters. We have got to get a handle on this, guys. I don't care what side you're on. This is not the answer. This will never be the answer. It's just going to lead us to civil war or worse. Anyway, I've ranted on for long enough. Next week will definitely be a much more fun video. I will be going to the midnight release of Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I will be vlogging it. I'm also planning on interviewing the people that I see there and asking them about their expectations, so I hope you guys look forward to that. I also hope the monetization on my video doesn't get taken away for the fact that I'm talking about a controversial subject, as well as swearing, because YouTube policies are even shittier than they used to be. Thanks you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.